Okay, so what I do is I handle social media for chiropractors. I do it two reasons. Number one, I love doing it. I love doing it. I was born and raised into chiropractic. I love chiropractic as a profession. I love it as a way of life. And number two, I found I've worked for my dad now, Dr. Charles Ward. I've worked for him for approximately 3 years, a little more than 3 years now. And I've seen how social media is handled in a lot of chiropractic locations. And it's not to say that it's handled incorrectly. It's just there are certain things that you want to do that you don't want to do. And instead of the doctors having to waste their time, and it's a very small window of time that each doctor gets daily to dedicate to social media, some of them try to push it off on their team. Here, you guys handle it. And sometimes it gets done, sometimes it doesn't get done, it gets neglected. What I'm attempting to do is free up all of that time so you don't have to worry about your social media. It's in my hands, and I will take care of it for you 100%. Now, when we talk about social media, I'm talking about Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. There are chiropractic locations who choose to use Instagram and Pinterest. Those are all fine things to have. Those of you who have a LinkedIn account, those are fine to have. I'll handle those as well. That's not a problem. But the primary focus will be Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. There are videos. I will have you do videos of the office. These are very, very important marketing tools. People love to see people walk through an office and tell them a little bit about what it is, because not everybody knows what chiropractic is. They know what a chiropractor is. They know what a chiropractor does, but they don't know how it affects this. And the best person to tell them this information is you, the doctor. Once we have a good source of media for your location, once we have some videos, perhaps some pictures of the team, perhaps some testimonials from your patients, et cetera, the object is to take all of this information and push it to social media. But you don't want to push everything at once. People make one big mistake, and that is pushing everything at once. So we don't do that. We do it on an even keel. We do it slowly, piece by piece by piece. And after a while, you have a huge bounty of very valuable information, which we have attached to YouTube, which we have that will be pushed to both Twitter and Facebook. And make sure, of course, that the area around you have your website in good position as far as keywords, meta tags, et cetera, to make sure that your website is achieving the max amount of traffic as possible. Now, people ask, what is the point of taking my posts from my website, like videos I might have on my website, or stories, testimonials I might have on my website, information about chiropractic or things that surround chiropractic on my website, and then pushing them to social media? In other words, linking them up to social media. And the answer to that is very simple. Many more people, are going to be going to Facebook than are going to go to your website. You want to have that information available, because if and when they go and click on something on your website that you have posted, on Facebook that you have posted to your website, it's going to take them back to your website. This is going to improve your search engine optimization. This is going to be a very, very, very valuable tool. I can't stress that enough. And a lot of locations don't do it. They don't do it, or they don't do it enough. The other good thing to have, of course, is a bounty of videos on YouTube. And I mean educational stuff on YouTube, because the most important thing in social media when it comes to attracting new patients, or perhaps even bringing inactive patients back into your office, is to supply them with a good bounty of information. And YouTube is absolutely not the number one, but the number two best way to do that. Okay, obviously there's Google. Google's the master of all search engines. Yes, indeed. However, YouTube, and in a day and age when people don't necessarily like to read a bunch of stuff, they want to see a video, which are also linked up to Google as well. They go there, they look for information, they want to see a video. They don't care about reading a whole bunch of stuff necessarily. They want to see stuff on a video. They want to see a doctor talking about something. It gives it better substance. On top of that, there's a mistake that is made, and we can talk a little bit more about this. And it's the question of, do I make a personal page, Dr. Jane Doe, Dr. John Doe, DC, or do I want to just have a clinic Facebook page? You should have both. The purpose of having a business Facebook page is to push your people on your DC page over to that other page. However, it's not as personable as having a regular personal profile DC page. Dr. Jane Doe, DC, Dr. Don Joe, whatever it might be. DC, have that. You want to have that personal connection, because someone's personal Facebook page it's a little more, it's going to be a little more active. People feel like they're talking to you now instead of just talking to a business page, because business pages, to be honest with you, on Facebook are just kind of blah. It's not a, in my opinion, okay, it's not a real big seller. It's just not. So I always advocate having a personal page. Now, when I say a personal page for your DC personal page, whatever your name is, doctor, with DC at the end, have that. The difference between that and having a personal page, you don't want to connect the two. So if your name is Dr. Mark Stevens, you can have your Mark Stevens DC, and then you can just have Mark Stevens, or Dr. Mark Stevens DC and Mark Stevens. You don't want to cross those two. You don't want to have your same set of friends and all that. Your DC page should be primarily focused around just your patients, or perhaps other DCs in the area if you are friends with, et cetera, et cetera. And the reason is, people get on Facebook and they love to post going out to dinner, going on vacation, doing this, doing that. That's not necessarily a great thing. Okay, not necessarily a great thing, because if you can picture this, I'm your patient, and I'm laid up in bed at home. And I'm not saying anything that you couldn't fix me, but it happens. People get down so bad to the point where they're in bed. And what do they do when they're in bed? It's boring in bed. You're going to reach for your devices. You're going to reach for your phone. You're going to reach for your tablet. And you're going to get on Facebook. And you're going to get on Facebook, and you're going to see how Dr. Stevens is hanging out in Aspen, Colorado, just having a grand old time, and I help pay for it. Get the point now? It's not a message you want to send. So you have to be very, very, very careful of that. The other thing we have to be very careful of is posting chiropractic material on your Facebook page where your patients are at. Now, I know that you're a chiropractor or a CA, or I know that you're pro chiropractic. That's fine and dandy. And you can push some of that stuff to social media. There's not a problem there. However, the one problem that is there is the fact that the only people that I know of that are interested in constant chiropractic content are other chiropractors. It isn't going to serve the purpose for you getting your patients to social media, going to your website, clicking on something. It's not going to do that. So we're going to be very careful about what you post. Again, having me manage your social media will ensure all this. I will make sure everything is done appropriately. Everything will be ran through you, the doctor. I never post stuff that I have not first approved through the doctors. Now, with that in mind, the next question becomes Twitter. Twitter is a little bit different. It's more of a blog. Okay, it's a very short blog because you get a very short amount of space to type in. Conveying your message, getting it out there quickly, getting it out there easily, and then you're out of there. But you can also upload your videos to Twitter. You can connect all of these. That's why we want these three main media sources: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. And they can all be used to push things back and forth amongst each other. Ultimately, the goal here is to get them to your website. Now, no, they will not always go to your website. Some will have heard enough information through YouTube. Some will have heard enough information through Facebook and decide to contact you. This is where your business page comes in. This becomes very handy. on your business page, you can actually place a tab that will allow the people to call you. I'm not suggesting you don't know, but some people know, some people don't know. Place a button on there that will allow the patron of your Facebook page to go and click on it. And of course, if they're on their mobile device, will be connected to your office, which is a really good thing. So, all that in mind, please feel free to ask any questions. I will have a phone number that you can contact. You can also email me, and it is chad@chiroreach.com, and that's Chad at chiroreach.com. I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for your time.